Welcome back. In this lecture, I'd like to describe how to create a web interface that will allow users to subscribe and unsubscribe from your mailing list. To do this, let's go ahead and bring up our web interface to Mailchimp. And here we are looking at our one list once again. We're still dealing with lists. So we'll go ahead to modify this monthly sale newsletter list by clicking on it. Now, what we want to do in this case is not add users or any of the other options, but to go to sign up forms. Now, this is going to allow us to view and manage what kind of sign up forms are available to users to sign up to this mailing list. Let's go ahead and click on that and see what we get. Now, the left one here, the one in the upper left, the general forms is the easiest one to implement, and therefore the one I'm going to show you. If you plead and really tempt me strongly, I might give you a demonstration of embedded forms, although this is somewhat more complicated and gets into HTML coding, so I probably won't do it. I'll show you the code and we'll talk about embedding in HTML, but I will not let you drag me into HTML coding in this course. And the final one is if you have to do sophisticated signups like from WordPress or so on, and I won't even dare to tread there. Let me begin with the simplest and most general form of a sign up web interface. We'll click on that option. And here it comes. It's on the bottom part of the page. We can see that it's very simple. You have tons of options here on the right to add things, drop downs, check boxes. You can do surveys. You can ask for the zip code, for people's phone numbers, for their addresses, their birthdays. What I recommend is keep it simple. The three things that you want to know are already being asked for on the general form: the email address of the user, their first and last name, so that you can make emails to them if you decide to communicate with them directly, personal, by using their first and last name. And then it says subscribe to list. This is what the form actually looks like. And in a little bit, we're going to actually go to the form and look at it, because what it's doing is it's generating this form at a URL that's accessible here via the sign up from URL. So the only thing that we have to do to incorporate this into a web page is create a href or a link to this URL. And it will go to this page that we're about to look at. Let's go ahead and select this URL. We'll create a new tab. We'll come up here. We'll paste that URL and press enter. Here's what our sign-up page would look like. Now, one problem we can see right away it has is that it's still talking about the June sale newsletter instead of the monthly sale newsletter. We'll go back and fix that. It also has the Mailchimp logo at the bottom. After all, we are getting this for free. Here's the subscribe to list button. All users have to do, because the only required field here, as indicated by the asterisk, is the email address, is enter their email address. They then can optionally, and I sure hope they do it, I like it when they do it on my sites, is enter their first name and their last name before they click to subscribe. And here we got an error because we didn't enter our email address. So that's an example of what the form will look like. Now, let's talk about modifying the form. Let's say we would like this to be the correct newsletter title. Let's go ahead and we'll choose edit. We could remove this, or we could even use an image as a header on our little subscription form. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to edit the text and change June to monthly sale, and we'll make it newsletter instead of new letter. Let's save and close. There we go. There's our new header on our subscribe to the list screen. I'm not going to follow any temptation to ask for any more than the basics that I need from the user. If I can actually get a user to take the time to give me these 3 pieces of information, I am fat, dumb, and happy, and I'm gone. I am out of their face and letting them go on with their day. So what we'll do is take a look at design it a little bit. Here we can change the colors. Right now there's a gray background. We could pick a color and I don't know. Oh boy, we could go for red. That's pretty dramatic. I actually kind of like that. Um, Anyway, you can configure all kinds of things having to do with the look of the thing, the header that's going to be on it, how large it's going to be, the outer wrapper or border around the thing, which you can't really see very well now because I turned the background to red. That was a mistake. And at all times, this is going to be your sign up URL. You configure it to make it look like what you want, and I suggest keep it simple down to mailing address, first name and last name. That's what you should ask for. Now, actually, there is one other thing that I would recommend you ask for on the Build It interface, and that is this here. Let subscribers pick the email format. Now, some subscribers may have old mail readers where they can't handle HTML-based emails coming in, and they may want to pick plain text rather than HTML. So when we click that little thing, notice down here at the bottom of our subscription page, now we have HTML or text. They can pick it. The default is going to be HTML, our preferred method, but they can pick text if they like. And there you have it. There's nothing to save. Everything automatically gets saved. You have a URL to your form for subscription, and this is the way that users subscribe to your list without any effort required by you, other than the fact that you need to advertise the heck out of this URL. And by the way, don't use this URL directly. Embed this into your home page and then tell people to go to the top of your home page where you've got a link to this URL. Okay? That's the way to advertise your newsletter. Some people actually go so far as to buy software that actually locks up the screen and brings up a window asking you, pleading with them to subscribe to a newsletter. I don't particularly like that. I think it's fairly obnoxious, but I will have a little area up at the top of my home page on my web page which will say, hey, subscribe to my newsletter, and have a link to this form. You'll be surprised by how fast a newsletter builds, especially when using the techniques to build a newsletter subscription list that we're going to talk about in later sessions.